Hey my Squidlings, it's Katie here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Sakura Koi watercolor set. So I ran a poll last week up here, and I'm going to be running one again this week to, kind of figure out what you guys want to see as far as reviews are concerned. And this won by landslide, so this is what we're reviewing today. So this is the 24 color set. This is the field sketch box, and up here it says it is ideal for plein air painting, fine quality transparent watercolors, and then it contains 24 colors, half pans. It contains a 9 milliliter refillable water brush, and it has 2 sponges. And then on the back here, it just kind of gives you some instructions for your water brush. It gives you some brush care down here, and then it gives you some more swatches. I'm just going to open this up. I've already opened it, but I haven't done anything with it yet. But here is what the actual sketch box looks like. It's nice and white. I'm sorry, my light makes everything glary. It says the Koi watercolors down here. And yeah, it's a nice little simple design. Oh, and here on the bottom, it has the little, I can't even get it out, the little ring to where you can hold it if you want to paint like this, which I think is really handy. So anyway, you open it up, and you can see that you've got a mixing palette down here, and you've got an area where you can put a small piece of watercolor paper or something. And you can actually take this palette out and you can set it in these holes. I've already filled this with water, but it comes like this. I haven't put water into here yet, but this already has water in it. And then the glorious watercolors. Let's swatch them out. I'm actually going to swatch a couple on camera, because I should have done that before and I didn't with all of my other reviews. So we're gonna swatch these on camera, at least some of them, not all of them. What? I must have had fingerprints all over this paper. So we're just gonna take this water brush, we're gonna pop this little guy out. Had I not had water, I would have put water in here, but I do. And then I'm going to screw it on, take this lid off, and it's a really nice nylon tip. Then I'm going to squeeze it. Okay, that was really quick. Okay. And so, let's see. I'm just gonna I don't even know. We're just gonna go for yellow. They seem to pick up really easily, which I find is nice. And then I'm just going to, there's no point in swatching the white, so yeah, you can take that as it is. I have way too much water. Let's try this again. They seem to lift relatively nicely. There we go. I'm gonna swatch actually up until we get to this orangey color, because it seems like the yellow's kind of light. This is it's kind of like a golden yellow, like a cadmium yellow, even though it looks like a yellow ochre, but it is not. I'm really excited for this orangey color. It's really pretty. I love orange. Wow, I really like these colors so far. Alright, so, well, you couldn't even see the swatch. Here are some of the swatches right off the bat, and I think they're really pretty, they're really vibrant, and they're super duper easy to get out of the pan. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch the rest of these off of camera, and I'm going to talk to you whenever I get back. Actually, I'll probably just go ahead and head into an illustration, but first I'm going to talk about the swatches. And then, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so I don't know what happened with that last clip. My camera just decided to film it way too bright, so here is probably a more accurate representation of those color swatches. I don't know why it was so bright. But anyway, they're super gorgeous, and I really enjoyed them so far. I haven't used them any more than outside of here, but I have really enjoyed swatching them out. So, you'll notice I didn't use the sponges. I only plan to use the sponges if I'm actually out painting. And one thing I forgot to mention is this has little bitty feet that you can kind of just put in these holes, and you can make a palette just kind of off to the side. Another thing is I generally don't use white in a watercolor palette. White generally is used to make the watercolors more opaque, and if I wanted opaque watercolors, I would just grab some gouache Also, something I don't want to forget to mention is if you buy this new, which I'm sure most of you will, but if you do buy this, I recommend taking a dry paper towel like this one and just kind of rubbing the inside of this palette. It just kind of gets the, I don't know what it is, it's just kind of like a film on top of it. It just gets that off so your mixes look like this and they don't look all beaded up and really hard to manage. So just a tip. Anyway, so now that we've got these all swatched out and we know what they look like, I'm going to head over into an illustration and I'm going to talk further about all the things, whether I liked them or not, give them a rating if I remember, and yeah, so let's go do that. Alright, so before I begin the video, I want to let you guys know that currently I am hosting a 2,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm giving away a ton of art supplies, and if you want to check that out, I will have a card pop up on the top right of the screen to where you can go check that out. Also, I want to kind of ask a favor of you guys. So I've really been into the idea of Patreon. Of course, all of my YouTube content will always be free. I will never, like, lessen my content to bring it over to Patreon. But I would like to make extra content for people who would want to pledge to do so. And that would include anything from buttons to prints to real-time videos, extra videos even, and surprise commissions, like raffles and stuff. So if you would be interested in pledging and you have the ability to, please vote in my poll. I want only people that are serious about pledging to vote, because I want to kind of get a good estimate on if it would even be worth doing or not. But it's something I've been really looking into and I really want to do, so vote in the poll that's on the screen now, so thank you ahead of time. So now we can talk about these paints. I'm going to go over the things I liked first. So first off, it has an absolutely lovely color range. I love all of the colors in this set. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. It comes in a 12 set, a 30 set, the 24 set that you see here, a 48 set, and then they also have tubes, which I find really handy. You can always refill your palette if you need to with tubes. These are a high quality student grade. They're not artist grade, but they are high quality student grade. They're non-toxic. And I find that it's really perfect for practice and final paintings, but one thing I really want to advise you guys about is if you do it for a final painting, please scan your artwork, because, and this kind of brings me into the things I don't like, these are not light fast, and that's really disappointing. I really wanted these to be light fast, and they're not, which is really weird. Because most of the student quality paints I use are, and so it's very confusing, but I didn't make them, so they're not light fast. Another thing I didn't care too much for is some of the colors are kind of chalky, and that's not fun. I don't know. I personally care whether my paints are chalky or not, and these are some of them, not all of them, but some of them, which I also found kind of weird, but whatever. Another thing I didn't care for was they lose their vibrancy when they're mixed. Every color in this painting that you see here has not been mixed. It's straight from the palette, and the palette does come with a lot of pre-mixed colors, which I find great. But if you try to mix any of those colors, they just lose their vibrancy. They're not near as beautiful. I mixed a few colors off screen and I just did not care for them, and I was really kind of sad about that. This is a personal preference, but I'm not too much of a fan on how close together those pans are. I don't know, I just find it like easy to mix colors, like contaminate other colors, I guess. And yeah, but that's just personal. Another thing I did like, I forgot to mention earlier, is I really like the whole of it. Like, I like the case, I like the sponges, and I like the brush. I just like how easy it is. It's compact, you can travel with it, and I think that's probably the biggest selling point on here, is the fact that it's really easy to just take with you on vacation, or if you just want to go out to a cafe or something and paint. I think that's really great. So it's really easy to take with you, and yeah, but I again am sad that none of these paints are light fast, so that's not too cool. I do love how easy it is to get the actual watercolor from the pan. I've previously used some watercolors that are not very easy to get out of the pan, and these are super amazing to get out, so that's great. So before I give it a rating, I just want to tell you guys that I really tried to like this. I want to like this so much. I know a lot of people in the art community love these paints, and while they are great for practice and that kind of thing, I just don't find them good for final pieces because they're not light fast, and so your work's not going to last a long time, and I just think that's kind of annoying, I guess. I would recommend these paints probably for someone younger, or someone who just wants to practice with them, or someone who just wants to travel and doesn't plan on keeping your artwork for too long. But if you do want to keep your artwork, you can always scan it, so that's always a plus. So as far as a rating is concerned, I'm only going to give these a 5.5 out of 10 because I really wanted to like them, but I just couldn't. There were so many things wrong with them, and I am kind of sad because I paid a decent amount of money at Hobby Lobby. These are $36, and you could definitely get a different set that is light fast like the Winsor & Newton Cotman for the same price, and it would last forever. So anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to thumbs it up. Also, don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and all of those links are in the description below. And don't forget to join our cute little squid pod if you haven't already to keep updated on new videos. And until next time, guys, toodaloo!